Hey everyone. This is the face that you have after like the sixth or seventh listen of this new Schoolboy Q single, Groovy Tony. People have been asking me to check this song out, and I have been checking it out. You don't even really need to tell me because I did enjoy Schoolboy Q's last full-length album quite a bit. Schoolboy Q, if you didn't know, California rapper, affiliated with Top Dog Entertainment, home of Ab-Soul, Kendrick Lamar, J-Rock, and so many others. Seems like the roster for TDE is kind of growing every year, but I digress. So Schoolboy Q has a new full-length album coming out this year. Last one was Oxymoron, and this new single over here comes with a great video. Definitely one of my favorite videos of the year. I will just kind of get that out of the way. It's really some nightmarish shit. But the song itself, to me, this track is an extension of what Schoolboy Q is doing so well on Oxymoron. It's gritty, it's grimy, there's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of gang violence specifically on this track, but it's over a very progressive beat, and it features an incredibly creative flow. I had not heard a flow like this. I don't know, there's just something about this flow that is so catchy, and yet it's so off-kilter. Kind of reminds me of that posse cut that they did off of the J-Rock record, how creative that flow was. But maybe just a little more fluid and a little more easy to kind of bob your head to. I love how as Schoolboy Q is moving on through these verses, his voice is intensifying and just getting more and more angry, and then all of a sudden all of that intensity just cuts out as that kind of that little honk sort of pops up in the beat, and he sort of takes it back down and he goes right back to blank face. It's almost like he's trying to tell a story or get a visual or get a message out, but sort of that horn, that blank face refrain kind of interrupts him and resets him and sort of puts him back at the beginning and makes him sort of try to retell the story again. And even though I think the content, I think the themes of this track are very general, nothing really that he hasn't explored on his last album, I think that this song goes beyond just kind of the general drugs and violence that we've heard on his last record, which at the time felt very biographical. Here, it seems almost as if he's trying to paint a character portrait of a person, this groovy, Tony gangster, I guess, character that he is on this track that's sort of featured in the video. In a way, I can't quite tell if it is, is he sort of, is it just regular braggadocio? Is he being himself, or is he building up some kind of character that this new full-length album is going to tell a story about? And if that's the case, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Not that if it were the other, it would necessarily be bad. I still think it's a good track. Again, just the themes seem kind of general, but they all seem to be very focused on describing the actions and the personality and the background of a very specific person. It seemed like Schoolboy Q had a certain character, a certain idea, person in mind with every single line on this track, as pretty much every bar describes something about this guy or something that this guy does. So again, it would be interesting to see if all these bars came together into just kind of part of a story or a larger character portrait that his new full-length album was painting. I haven't known Schoolboy Q to be super conceptual across the length of an entire album, but on his last record, he has dropped quite a few topical tracks, and he is in Black Hippie, he is in TDE, one of the most forward-thinking rap crews and record labels in the hip-hop game out there right now. So it's certainly within his ability to sort of pull off something like that. He has the resources, he has the connections to sort of make that kind of record happen, and it seems like he's been getting more and more ambitious since his last record, so it's possible. And again, that's kind of what I'm crossing my fingers for. So I am enjoying this track. I think it's a great track. Beat is awesome. Loving the kind of rough synths, the rough bass synths on this track. The percussion itself is fantastic. Again, the flow is fantastic. And yeah, I don't really have any complaints about this cut. Just waiting to see how it fits into the larger context of this album, essentially. What do you think of this song? Did you love it, hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And yeah, that's it. Anthony Fantano, Schoolboy Q, Groovy Tony. Don't let this music video give you nightmares, okay? Forever.